Okay. I'm about to have a good day. No matter what they say. The sun is shining down on me.
All right. It's Coach Ruff, and we back. We got Ruff Talk with my man Zyshaun Henderson. I'm so excited, man. I cannot wait for you guys to hear a little bit about Zy and some of the things he's doing. All right, Zy. So tell us where you're from, man.
Born and raised Pensacola, Florida. Always been here my whole life. I've seen the changes he's went through, but
Yeah.
I've always been here for sure.
Everywhere you go, you repping the 850. All right. Tell us what elementary school you went to.
I went to Longleaf Elementary and I transitioned to Montclair.
Shout out Longleaf and Montclair. I love to come talk to your teachers and students. Let's get it going. What middle school did you go to?
I went to Woodham back then when it was Woodham. And then I went to Warrington.
Ooh. You was a shark. When did the Woodham Sharks? Something like that? No?
Yeah, Woodham Sharks.
Woodham Sharks. Okay, shout out Woodham Sharks. All right, and then we already know, but tell us what high school did you went. Well, they don't know, so tell us a little about high school.
My freshman year, I started at Pensacola High School, and then I transitioned for the last 3 years. I transitioned to Escambia High School, and then after that, I graduated. And, I had to rep the Gators for my graduation, so I had to come through. Be a Gator.
I remember when Zyshaun came the first day of tryouts or workouts or practice or something, and he walks in, and everybody's like, "Oh, who's this guy?" You were a little taller than everybody else, and didn't always have quite the coordination right at first. But man, the improvement you made from your sophomore year to your senior year.
It's a game we gotta talk about. It was a game we played West Florida.
Uh-huh.
It was always on my phone, and I remember hitting this corner shot.
Oh gosh!
And oh my God! I hit the shot. I see in the bottom left. I see Coach Ruffin. I see you looking at Billups like. Did you really just? I was like, oh man!
Yes.
I remember that clip.
Yes.
Clip in my line all the time. And it was legendary.
I love it.
That transition from my sophomore to junior year, I really tried to come out my shell for sure.
Yeah. Shout out to Coach Billups doing this thing, singing, baby. We see Coach Billups doing that thing. Man, we used to talk and we used to go to coaches' clinics when we went to Georgia, and I'm so proud of him, man, for finding his passion and purpose, man, and doing that thing, man. That is huge. All right, I've never asked this question, so it's an open-ended question. Here we go. So what was it like playing for Coach Ruffin in high school with basketball? And I'm going to turn the camera around. This is, ladies and gentlemen, I'm a little nervous. I don't know what he's going to say, but here we go.
I would say playing with Coach Ruffin, it was
Be honest, man. Tell us the truth. I want to know.
We had some challenges, for sure. But I would say, for me personally, playing with Coach Ruffin, him being my coach, it was always just. I understood what was going on, that we had to always run our plays, go through not go through the motion, go hard for 100%, because it reflected, when the college coaches come to see us, it always showed, but I always understood the philosophy for sure. And you were a good coach. I understood it. Some things could have been tweaked in my opinion, but like I said, it worked out.
It's crazy, and I love the fact that he says that, because even when I went to Milton to coach, and you grow as a coach, you think, man, I wish I could have done this different.
Right.
I wish I could have changed or tweaked this, because I think we could have exposed this, or I think we could have done that.
Right.
But part of what I think one of the biggest things was buy-in. Buying into, if you do it the right way, it works. It really does. So talk to us about that, man. Talk to us like from an athlete's perspective. Sometimes you don't always see it in the moment, but sometimes you can see it down the road. Talk to us about that, man. How it's hard to buy in sometimes as athletes.
As an athlete, you don't have a coach mindset, but you're an athlete, and you're just not. You just want to do whatever on the court, or you want to just do what works. But discipline and structure comes into play at that point, where you have to listen to the coach, and you just need to make sure that you're following what he's saying as far as the plays, what you do as far as buying in. And when you buy in and listen to the philosophy and the structure that the coach has for you, it does work for sure. When you just run the plays, making sure everybody's involved, it exposes the other team any moment, any time. Because if they don't catch on, you have a weak point that you attack.
Yeah. What was one of the highlights or the biggest things you learned about life through basketball?
Perseverance, for sure. If you persevere, well, I would just say basketball taught me how to persevere even through the hard moments, even through the workouts, the weight room, or even through just running suicides. They just taught you to keep going and keep going. It just teaches you just have to keep going. If you don't do anything else, keep going because you never know where you're going to land. Just persevere, man.
Yeah. That's good. That's good. And it's so funny he says perseverance because it wasn't easy, man.
No, it wasn't.
Because I remember coming in, we didn't have jerseys for everybody.
Yeah, it was tough.
Like the first year was like, can we improve the aesthetics? Can we improve the program?
Yeah.
Like what we inherited, I don't talk to you guys about that stuff, but what we inherited, man, it was tough. It was not where it needed to be. So, man, we were trying to fundraise and we were trying to get money for you guys so you weren't having to pay for so much. But then at the same time, man, like we got to get after this thing, man. Like the gap was so large between us and where the other teams were. And I felt like in those 3 years, we made up a lot of space, man. What do you think about that?
I think, I can definitely agree with you. Like I said, when I came in my sophomore year, we really didn't have much. But we did transition. We did realize as far as fundraisers, as being a team, even now we have a new court. Like that was amazing, man. I know it's probably not to you, but there was like strides that we made from the time period that I came on. It definitely has improved for sure. Yeah,
that's good. Shout out to DJ Williams, head coach there at Scambia. He was our freshman coach. Shout out DJ. Shout out Rhonda Bond. Rhonda did so much for us, man. Painted the locker rooms, painted the inside of the gym, got us that floor. She was working hard on that. Her and DJ did so much for you guys, man. The Burks, shout out to the Burks. They were in the military. Do you remember them? They came over. They gave pizzas and food, and they did the tutoring and all that stuff, man. Like, we really tried to make it. Because I came from coaching in college. I wanted to treat you guys as if you all were going to go to the next level and get your mind to the point where no matter what I go through in life, I'm going to dominate. But I'm going to be professional about it as well because you got to have that professional mindset. Awesome. So talk to us, man, about like life after basketball. Like we haven't had these conversations. I haven't been able to sit down and talk with you guys and like dig deep, man. Like what was it like playing your last high school game and thinking, oh shoot, I would love to play in college, but what if I don't get the opportunity to play in college? What was that transition like coming from high school to now I gotta be a man?
I would say for me, it was a little bit easier. It's not always easy for everybody.
Yeah.
In high school, I was in OJT. So I was already working at Publix. I was already doing basketball, and I was already just school, high school. So that transition was really easier. I had my foot in the ground for sure. Shout out Publix for helping me out. Shout out
Miriam Merritt at Publix, baby.
Yeah.
She hooked us up. We're gonna talk about that in a second, man. Huge help, man.
Absolutely. But it was an easy transition for me. Publix has definitely been a stepping stone in my life. Transition to other jobs. But it was a pretty good transition for me. And like I said, I encourage people who doesn't have the transition that I had, just always, like I said, keep going.
Yeah.
It's not always going to be easy, but you can get there.
Yeah. No, that's phenomenal. Now I got to tell a story. All right. Story time. Gather around, baby. Coach is about to tell you a story. It's story time. So Zyshaun came to me and said, Coach, I think I want to get a job. What, 15, 16, 17-year-old high schooler comes to you and says, I think I want to get a job. So I said, man, I can respect that. I started thinking and putting my wheels together. I'm like, well, shoot, Muriel lets us come and do our fundraisers at Publix. I trusted her. She wasn't going to give you a job, but it was an awesome opportunity to say, hey, maybe I can start there at least. So we're going to show the picture here as well. We're going to get the picture up, but I got a picture of Zy. Do you remember that first day of Publix working? It was amazing. It was like a father. I was like a dad. Like I got to get my son to his first job. And it meant so much that a high school kid wanted to work. And you showed up and you worked hard and you dressed nice for your interview, shirt and tie first day. And let me tell you what happened. We used to preach that on game day, dress sharp. It's about business. Do you know what? People would tell me there's no one like Zyshaun.
Wow.
I guarantee you right now, if you were to go back to Publix, they would say, I remember that dude who wore a shirt and tie.
Yeah.
Can you, like, that was why we wanted you guys to do that, because you stood out.
Right.
And maybe some things might have been questionable. I didn't have work experience, but that dude came in sharp.
Yeah.
That was big time, man. So, like, I'm proud of you for that and for wanting to be a leader for your family and doing that. So talk to us a little bit about that, man. Like, talk to us about, like, working and your first job and what that was like.
My first job, it put me in the insight. It gave me an insight of what what the real world was like for sure. Even though I'm not downgrading, but Publix always had a good customer service system. Their system was very top notch. So when I ventured out to other jobs, it was like a little bit degrading at some point. But Publix was a good first job for me. It gave me a little bit of game about how retail business goes. When I first started, I was a part guy, and then I became a bagger, and then the bagger I went to the cashier, and the cashier to the customer service staff. So I definitely made some segue in Publix for sure. Like I said, it was definitely a journey for me. I was there from 2018 to 2020.
3 years on the job, baby. I love it. I'm going through the line, and I'm sitting here, and I said, I know this cat that cut his hair, smiling and profiling like he had something going on. I said, look at this man checking me out. Now, he ain't give me no discount. Now, why ain't give me no discount on my food, my grocery bills? No, man, I was so proud of him, man. I love winning basketball games. I love coaching. I wasn't used to losing. Like, I've been on some very successful college teams, high school teams. But it was so much bigger than basketball. It was like, man, I get to see a young man become a young man and become a man and get in life. And it was phenomenal, man. So thank you for allowing us to be able to do that for you. So talk to us about childhood, man. Like you said, you're born and raised in Pensacola. Were there anything you struggle with, or have you always been a quiet dude? Have you always been pretty chill?
I've always been a pretty chill guy. Going through my house, going through my childhood. I've always been pretty chill. Been laid back. I've been through some things. One of the things I've been through has been verbal abuse. I'm not gonna say but I'm always gonna keep that anonymous. But I went through that, and it kind of affected me going into basketball and doing things I want to do, because you always keep stuff in the back of your head thinking, hey, should I do this? What's this person gonna say? It really messes with your mental. And I also want to preach on mental health, because mental health is very important. I am one of those guys who I really don't have a stigma, and I'm not on the spectrum all the way. But you do have thoughts where you doubt yourself for sure, and it does take a part and take a toll on you for sure. So I went through verbal abuse, and it was tough. And like I said, I got through out that hole, and I'm a therapist for sure. Shout out to my therapist, and shout out to the people out there who are therapists. It's very important to do that, because you need to be in a better place. You need to want to be in a better place. You need to persevere to a better place. If you don't do that, you don't want to be in the same place. Just stay grounded. It's not a good place to be at all. It's not.
That's huge, man. That's huge. Shout out to our therapists.
Yeah.
I don't think they get enough credit sometimes for being a safe place that you can talk to.
Right.
And shout out to men who go to therapy, as you just said. It's not a stigma. You're not weak. And it's actually crazy. Women actually appreciate a man who can say, I'm not good. I got some issues.
You owe it to yourself.
Absolutely, man.
Because
1,000%.
if you're a man in a household and you have children, you have a family, man, you can't help your family if you're not right yourself. You know what I'm saying? You're trying to, pour your water, your glass of water into everybody else, and yours is completely empty. You have no juice left. You need to go see somebody. Go see a therapist. Just get it out. You know what I'm saying? Find that safe space for yourself so you can help you help them.
What Zai and I talked about before we got on was so important. Like, that is part of why I wanted to be a life coach. I knew that coaching basketball might not be what I'd be able to do with family growing, but I can still affect people's lives as a coach in life.
Right.
And I can listen and I can be there and I can say, hey, I don't know what's going on, but that don't sound right. I don't think you handled that the right way. Or, hey, are you taking the time for yourself? And I think that's huge, man. So if ever I can be a help, go to jeremyruffin.com, reach me on Facebook, Instagram, go to Jeremy Ruffin. Men need other men to pour into them and to tell them, hey, man, I've been there. No judgment. It's big. All right, you cheesing. What you laughing at, man? He laughing at something, Brad. I don't know what he laughing at. What I done said inside that was funny. Ain't nothing in my teeth. I'm looking at my teeth is. But no, man, like, do you honestly think that it's tough for some men to open up?
Yeah, it is. It is tough for some men to open up. You know, everybody's not in an environment where they're able to express themselves and be vulnerable, man. I always say I feel like 70% of the men all feel like they can't get out what they need to say.
Why? Why do they feel like they can't say what they need to say? Be honest.
Man, you put me in the dark.
Why can't men say? And you don't have to get specific, but why are we looked at? Why is it that a woman can open up and be emotional? Is it because they are created as more of an emotional being, or we have to be the strong? We can't. What is it that a man, you think, that other people don't think a man can open up?
Well, it always starts with perception. Perception. The perception of a man is he has to be a provider. You know, he has to be a leader. He has to be that guy who holds it down no matter what he goes through. And that needs to change because yes, he has to be a provider. Yes, he has to be the one who leads. But at the same time, he goes through troubles too. He goes through some things that he can't deal with by himself, so he needs to reach out and get it figured out. Because, like I just said before, if he's not good and he's hanging on by a thread, he's going to fall at some point. He needs somebody to pick him up and help him at some point. And I feel like I said, that's the stigma, and it needs to change because it's not healthy for nobody. It's not healthy for the man. It's not healthy for the woman. It's not healthy for the man at all.
Oh man, this is good. We gotta take a break, but I'm telling you, we about to dive back into it. RWR Live 365. Download the app. I got Zyshaun Henderson, one of my former players. I'm so excited. We're about to dive back into therapy. We're gonna talk about verbal communication. So many things you do not want to miss. What's about to come up. We'll be right back.
This the only way, this the only way. By my testimony and his blood we overcame. This the only way, this the only way. I believe that Jesus died for me, I know I'm saved, yeah. This the only way, this the only way. This the only way, this the only way. This the only way, this the only way. Jesus Christ, that's the only name, yeah, yeah, yeah. So invite him in. BC, the boy was sick, but now the son my vitamin. Receiving Jesus, now the cross moved me like I've been sin. We be saving people on the web, I feel like Spider-Man. What? Feel like Peter Parker, I'm healed, I don't need a doctor. My story's so crazy, man, my father is a genius author. And we going even farther, this is what got Stephen martyred. About to get my run on, so I promise I don't need the commas. They asked my mama, how's he do it? She said Jesus taught him. Seasons change, people came and then they leave like autumn. I'm trying to get more of the Lord, that's why I'm leaving Sodom. They say hell is hot, but my songs are even hotter. The devil sweating when I drop, each song could be a sauna. I heard the devil going.
All right, it's Coach Ruffin, we back. All right now, Zod said he's finna get real, so it's about to get real. Coach Ruffin about to take a little pill of what we call humility. But man, Ty said some really big stuff in the break, and I really need him to reiterate it. So Zyshaun was talking about mental or verbal abuse as he's growing up, right? So I never knew that as a coach. So that could have 1,000% affected the way he played, the way he thought. So I want him to talk about how, as a coach, how that can affect your confidence, your growth, and who you become when you hear someone yelling at you. You gotta say what you just said a minute ago. All right, go ahead.
I would say the effect that verbal abuse has, as far as in sports, it can take a toll. It can affect your confidence. It can affect affect a lot of things. It can affect your play. You know, it can put you in a mental space where you don't feel comfortable unleashing who you really are or coming out your shell, I should say. You know, it's just verbal abuse can put you in a dark hole and you're just always questioning how this person does this, how this person does that. You know, you're always walking the eggshells and it's tough because a lot of those guys in the locker room weren't friendly. You know, they were cool, you know, but they didn't understand what they were going through. This place. I didn't understand at the time. I knew what verbal abuse was, but I didn't understand how it affected me. A lot of the guys probably went through the same thing. But it definitely can take a toll on you. And as far as a coach, you know, yelling at you, you know, it just triggers. It's a trigger for sure. But I understand what being a coach or the position you're in, you have to push players for sure, and I understand that. But you know, as far as verbal abuse, you know, it's just a trigger for guys, and it's hard. It's hard trying to listen to somebody. You know, it's hard enough to listen to your parents. You can yell at you, and you have to take it. But coming from an older stranger or a coach, it's a lot more difficult for sure. So, you know, you have to have a balance as far as coaching. You know, you have to be able to reiterate things in a certain manner. You know, just get your point across. You can be calm. It's very calm. But verbal abuse played a big part. So, me, it affected my confidence. I don't know where I will be now. I don't know how my life will be for sure. But it definitely changed and it definitely affected my confidence.
So, and thank you for opening up and saying that. So, during the break, I said this to Zyshaun. I told Zyshaun that I could see where some of my players were going to be in 5 to 10 years if they didn't change.
Right.
Not athletically, because there was no chance in the world any college coach was ever going to let any of those guys play based on work ethic. Forget how good you are. When you go to college, now I got to make sure I say this because I want to make sure that we're on the same page. I never cursed at my players.
No,
never put my hand, never go. That was never my thing. But I do know,
you're just passionate.
very passionate, but I knew that basketball is a revealer of character.
Yes.
And if you're lazy in basketball, which you quote unquote love, what are you going to do when you get a job that you don't love?
Right.
And you got to do that thing that you don't love? You're going to quit, or you're not going to get 100%. Then you're going to be unemployed. Then you can't provide for your family.
Right.
Then you're in this cycle. And remember what our phrase was the whole time I was there: break the family cycle. And somebody has to come in with an outside force and snap that thing. And granted, I definitely probably was not always the kindest, but I knew if I didn't get the attention, the same structure or the same attitude was going to continue.
Right.
But I love what you said. It can always be done in a different way. And you can care about somebody, you can be passionate. Now I'm going to say this, and I want you to tell me what you think. I coached you guys how I was coached and how I like to get it.
Right.
I need you to get all up in my rear end. I don't need you to sugarcoat nothing. I don't need you to put your hand around me. Put your hand around me when we get a dub. Right. But when we grinding, I need you to be passionate. I need you to get in my rear end. Right. We that was nah. We ain't having kind of guys. We ain't having no real dogs to be able to do that. You had to communicate a little bit differently.
Yeah.
Talk to me about the times when we did put our hands around you, when we did talk to you. Talk about those times.
Those times, they were very, I would say, comfortable. You know, it was just
big old teddy bear. That's all you are.
Those times are very comfortable for sure. But you know, those times allowed us to be relaxed, not too relaxed because we couldn't get away with anything, but it allowed us to kind of relax, be ourselves, and open up and do what we need to do on the court when we had to. But you know, like I said, it always should have been. It should have been a balance for sure. But like I said, your actions show for sure. Your true heart shows in your actions. You always want what you did for us. A lot of people didn't want to do. You know what I mean? Like the lockout we had, the breakfast.
Like, I genuinely loved you guys, man. I mean, I still do. I hope y'all can tell that. But, like, I genuinely, like, I loved every second of being on stage.
Yeah. You know, and it was tough, but like I said, it was, times are different now, and some things,
Oh, yeah.
it's a different generation. Our
It
generation
is.
is a little bit different, and
It
the
is.
generation after us
Yes.
is a little bit different. So, you know, it's a new time, man.
Yeah. You know what's crazy is I was starting to coach as the culture was shifting.
Yeah.
COVID shifted everything.
Yeah.
Mental health became bigger.
Yeah.
You couldn't coach kids the way that we used to be coached.
Yeah.
You just couldn't do it.
It's gone. It's gone.
And I don't know that I was there. Coach Billups was
He was that guy.
DJ was that guy. Shout out to Coach Billups big time. But I think you gotta have that I'm gonna be up your end type guy. It can't be, everybody can't be, but because I look at the greatest coaches. Nick Saban ain't.
No, Nick Saban ain't.
That ain't.
That is something you want to play.
But you see the other side of it.
Yeah.
Steve Kerr, completely different dynamic.
Yeah.
But you also got to remember too, coaches don't win games. Players do.
Yeah. Players coach.
If you ain't good, you ain't good.
Yeah.
And if you're not as good as other players, there's only so much a coach can do.
Right.
So talk to us a little bit about your maturation process growing as a player. Do you feel like you grew as an athlete while you were at Escambia?
Yeah, definitely. Man, when I first got there, man, I was on coordinating for sure. It was a
Go walk and chew gum.
It was
laughing at him. I'm telling the truth, he couldn't.
It was a tough process. But when I came out of my sophomore, transition to my junior year, man, we had this one practice. Coach was like, "Zai, come here right quick." And then I think it was a situation where, you know, we had to do something or we had to run. Hey, if you dunk this ball, I think you were going to get it.
I don't.
You don't?
I don't. That's why I'm about to record it and tell me,
He was like, if you dunk this ball, we'll get in practice right now and go home. Everybody was looking at me.
Of all people.
And I grabbed the ball. I was like, okay. So I think it was the second try. He was like, I'll give you one more try.
Yeah.
I went up, just left hand, kind of like a light tomahawk.
Yeah.
I slammed it, and then it was after that we got down practice. We went home.
Now Zai's a lefty. Zai's a natural lefty. Got a nice little soft touch around the glass. Will bang you down. We worked on that bang game.
Yeah.
That bang game is something that we worked on in practice. I remember it because I said, Zai, I don't want you to just settle for the 10 to 12 foot shot. Because I know you can shoot it, but I need you to grab that rebound and I need you to go dunk on somebody's head. So you said something that really made me think. I wanted that dog out of you. Yeah. And I thought getting that dog out of you was putting some fire up your butt. Yeah. But you said getting the dog out of you was, hey man, I love you. You're good. Let's get this thing going again. That would have unleashed the dog a little sooner. And you got it, but that would have unleashed it a little bit sooner. Is that what you're saying?
Yes, sir. Absolutely.
So it's more how you say what it is.
Yeah. Like I said, everybody's not responsive to, just, yelling and whatever case may be. Sometimes you gotta say, hey, because everybody's different.
True.
Everybody's
true.
For sure. So sometimes you gotta sit down and say, hey, this is what we're looking at, this is what we need to be. Here, this plan is what we're going to do. I need you to buy in, I'm in with you, we're gonna get it done, let's go get it.
Yeah.
Some guys are just not trying to get anything. Sometimes you gotta go with them. This, what the case may be. But yeah, it's like I said, things can be. Every guy's different, and things can be always be done.
Yeah. Man, this has been good. I gotta get him back on again. We almost out of time, but it's been so good to hear what a high schooler thinks. I hope high schoolers are gonna watch. I hope college players are gonna watch. I hope coaches are gonna watch. Because this is going to help.
Yeah.
Coaches are getting out of coaching. They don't know how to coach kids nowadays.
Yeah. I would say this. Old school coaching can be a part of the coaching game. It's just it needs to be a little bit watered down. And shout out to the guys who love the grind, because I do like coaches like that for sure. it's always a balance.
And I think you're more mature now where you can handle it.
Yeah, for sure.
I think as you get older, you realize I'm not taking how he's saying it, I'm taking the what.
Yeah.
And I know he's in the battleground just like me. You want to win just like I want to win.
Absolutely. And it's just like I said, it's a balance, man.
Yeah.
And a lot of coaches can be successful based off understanding how people feel, what's going on, how to say certain things. I know a coach shouldn't feel like they have to walk the head at the end of the day.
Yeah.
Like I said, things could be done very different.
Yeah. Yeah. $1 million question. Could you coach?
Maybe.
I think most players who have issues could never coach.
Maybe.
Because you have to play chess while they're playing Connect Four.
Yeah.
You got to be 10 steps ahead. You're always playing the what if game. What if this happens? What if they don't break the press? What if they do break the press? What happens if my guy gets in foul trouble? What happens if Tadarius gets that third foul in the second quarter? Now I don't have my two big guys. Now I've got to think about, now I got to go 4 out. Now I got to go 5 out. And I can't use our strength. So there's always this balancing act. I got to get Zyshaun out the game before he gets that one. But now I'm losing my big rebound and my big inside pressure. You know what I'm saying? There's always that you're always playing with. But yeah, that's great, man. Anything you got else you want to add about high school and sports and things now?
Shout out to all the high schoolers, class of 2020, class of 22, 23, 24.
When'd you graduate? Oh, you old, man.
Oh, man.
2020. You got to be 40 years removed, baby.
You were right, man. It goes by fast.
I told y'all, brother.
It goes by fast.
I'll be 36 in 2.5 weeks, man. I would have never in my life at your age got 36. That's crazy, man. But love it. Talk to us real quick, Zai, about we'll go to our professional. Actually, let's do this. Let's take a quick break, and then we're going to let Zai take us out and finish this up. RWR Live 365. Listen, you do not want to miss, man. We've talked about mental health. We've talked about verbal abuse. We've talked about athletics. We've talked about coaching. We've talked about how, as a man, I need to become a better man. This has been helpful for me.
Yeah.
And I hope it's been helpful for others. So we'll be back. We'll take a quick break, and we'll be right back at RWR Live 365. Ruff talk.
Let's go. Yeah. Okay, let's go. Yeah. Don't you play? Let's get it. With him, cross on me, that's him. Come on, sauce on me, that's sauce on me. Bust down wrist, that's him. Diamond singing hymns. Yeah. Hey, what you doing, Phil? Jumping at the gym. Life a buttering. Like I told you that. Made it up out that valley, like I told you, yeah. Putting on for my city, like I'm supposed to, yeah. Only my God can judge, don't even know you, yeah. Don't even know you. What can I say? Finally made it perfect timing, yeah. Back in my day, with the juggers, we was slimy, yeah. Found the right way, taught to Jesus and designing, yeah. Praying for the A, now they jumping down in China, yeah. Stepping up from the bottom, they was only, I ain't playing that.
All right, we're back. Ruff talk. Man, listen, we talking deep stuff in the commercials, man. It's been so good. I just told Zyshaun I've got to get him back on because we talked about some deep stuff in our commercials, man, and stuff that as a 36-year-old and a 22-year-old, we see things a little bit differently, but we do understand there is some common issues that we definitely got to work around and we've got to figure out. All right, Zai, so take us home. So we always end with the power, right? So what would you want a 13, 14 to 18-year-old to know and get now so that when they become 22, there's some things that they might be a couple of steps ahead of you that you've seen that maybe tripped you up or things you wish you could have gotten a little bit earlier. And I'm not saying you're in a bad situation, man. You're a dad, you're a husband, you're a business. Like, you're doing some great things, man. Like, you broke generational curses. So what would you tell them?
I would tell all high schoolers and middle schoolers, high school, whatever the case may be. It's about the journey. It's not about what you're going through in that moment. It's always about just persevering and keep going because it can always be worse. I hate to say it, but it can always be worse. But you have to persevere and keep going. Just be able to adjust and just keep going. And like I always hear this thing that people say, I say to myself every day, just do one day. One day. Just give me one day. Just keep going. Because you never know where you're going to end up at. You don't know how you're going to turn out on the other end. And it's a chance. It could be a good chance.
Yeah.
You just have to keep going and building yourself up, emotionally, spiritually, mentally, physically. You have to work on all those aspects, but you have to keep going. It's so important because you never know what you're going to deal with in the future. You never know who's going to rely on. Who have to rely on, who's going to rely on you.
Yeah.
You just have to be able to keep going and understand that things could be worse for yourself.
Yeah.
And you just have to go through those experiences that you got going on, and it can inevitably help you in the end.
Yeah.
Sure.
What's so funny is Zyshaun was always the granddad of the team. You were always like the wise old, that's just Zyshaun. He's just a little bit different. But Zyshaun's mindset was always a little bit different. I don't know if it was because of grandma, man, because grandma was that rotten baby. Grandma used to come up, drive, and had the thing on her wrist and would give me some cakes and stuff. And hearing grandma's words, man, I know it's powerful. Listen, this has been phenomenal, man. We're going to definitely get you back on. We got to get part 2. I'm so proud of you. If you ever need anything, reach out to me. I'm here to help. I always told you guys I'd be your coach for life. And I meant that then. I mean that now. And outside of money, no, I'm just kidding. I'll do whatever I can. I need some diapers too. It's been Coach Ruff, and it is Ruff Talk. Man, episode 10 was phenomenal. I'm living my dream. I've always wanted to be on a podcast. I've always wanted to host a podcast. I'm literally walking in my past prayers, dreams. Never stop dreaming. Never stop believing. Persevere every doggone day that you have. Let your feet hit the ground, you thank the Lord, and you go work as hard as you can, as smart as you can, knowing that you can get where it is that you want to be. As I always say, let Ruff Path help you find and stay on the right path. And when you combine your passion with your purpose, you are powerful. It's been Coach Ruff on Ruff Talk. Zyshaun's out of here, episode 10. Zyshaun and I are going to give you away. JeremyRuffin.com. Ruff Path, Jeremy Ruffin, Facebook, Instagram. Check it out. We'd love to hear from you. Have a great day.
I remember